Welcome to the show, Meet the Artist. My name is Emma. I'm originally from Greece, and right now I am in Nashville. And I have next to me a singer, songwriter, guitar player, Chet Lawrence.
How you doing?
Yes, welcome
Thanks
to
for
the
having me.
show.
Thanks.
Originally from Pennsylvania. Where,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania?
So I was just outside Philadelphia.
Okay.
Down near Delaware, right on the border of Delaware.
Right now you are in Nashville.
Yep.
How many years are you in Nashville?
Been 8 years now. 8 years. I moved in 2017 full time, and I was visiting before that for a little bit. And my family's actually from Tennessee originally, Mountain City, Tennessee, which is like East Tennessee in the hills, and like the Carolinas. So I grew up listening to, like, spending a lot of time with my grandparents. Grew up listening to the Grand Ole Opry, the country music on the radio all the time from them. So when I came to visit Nashville, I was like, oh, this is like it's like where my grandparents were from. It felt like that. So it kind of felt like where I belonged. And it was the best move I've ever made coming here.
Wow. How did you make that decision? Where were you before you decide to move here?
I was working, just, visited Nashville for work, and it just fell in love with it. I went out, I was doing overnight jobs, and then would go out to the bars a little bit, meet some musicians, and maybe jump up on stage. I was still very early because I started music kind of late in life, and then it just kept growing from there, and then I just made the decision that I wanted to move. This is where I wanted to be. So I had to set some things up, and I didn't just throw my stuff in the pickup truck and load the dog up and drive down, even though I did have to pack and move, and I did have a dog in a pickup truck. So I did end up driving down with my dog, but I planned it out. It took about 2 years of planning and kind of getting things ready and making sure I had work lined up so I could make the transition smoothly.
So you did had shows before, planned before you come here, or
No, I was
came out
playing
later?
I was playing some stuff up in Pennsylvania, but I didn't start playing for about, I don't know, maybe a year after I moved here. I was just singing karaoke in a restaurant in Kentucky, and a lady heard me, and she happened to work for the valet at the Moxie, and it just opened. And she said, "Hey, I think they're looking for people soon. They're going to
Wow.
start having music." And I got a random text like 6 months later asking if I wanted to do a show. And so I came down, did the show. They liked it, put me on the roster. And then I've been playing there ever since. It's been about 7 years I've been playing at the Moxie.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're playing tonight too.
And I'm playing tonight.
Of course, I'm gonna come and see you.
Yeah, come on.
I know that's a place on Broadway, like downtown.
Yeah.
And how is it to play on Broadway?
It's
I know it's
different.
most country on Broadway.
Yeah, Broadway is a lot of requests, so that's something that the music scene doesn't have as much of back up in Pennsylvania, and there's such a high concentration of music, so you have to get used to playing some requests and popular music that people want to hear, and some bars won't let you do original music. Moxie will; they'll let you do whatever you want as long as you're holding the crowd and bringing people in and helping them. And so I get to do a good mix, and it's solo acoustic shows, so I don't have to worry about band drama too much. I've done the fronted bands and stuff like that, played down there right on the Strip, and it's fun. It's higher energy, dancing around on a stage as a front man, and it has its place, and it's entertaining. I think it's a little more intimate at the Moxie. You can tell your story a little more. You can explain the songs. It's kind of like half writers round, half show. If you've been to the writers rounds, I know you have, but for those who have never seen them, that's all original music and not as much talking because they try to cycle through. So it's kind of cool. It's like a mix.
So it's a combination.
It feels like that, yeah. I mean, it's a 3-hour show. It's all me.
It's hard.
It's a lot of singing. It's a lot of singing.
It is hard to
Yeah.
perform by yourself, and I say that because I have done this, and I believe that people that they haven't done this, they don't really know how hard it is because nobody's there to cover things when you make a mistake or
Oh
you're
yeah.
like sometimes you go to sing and then you need to drink water and you can't because you're
Yeah.
the one who plays the guitar.
Oh yeah.
That's a little small thing, but it's big when you're by yourself.
Yeah. You can't hide. You
So
can't hide in a
yeah,
band.
so I really appreciate artists that they can carry a show for 3 or 4 hours by themselves.
Yeah.
That means you're really good at it, and it's really hard, and you have to think a lot of different things at that time.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna ask another question.
Sure.
I'm going back to the conversation that we started. You said you started music later.
Yeah. Later
So
in life.
how old were you?
So I guess when I say that, I guess I mean I started it to this. I got my first guitar when I was like 27 years old, 28 years
Oh,
old, maybe.
wow.
I had played in like a band when I was in, I don't know, fourth grade, third grade, young. When I was a little kid, you play instruments, and I sang in a choir a little bit in a church, and but that wasn't cool when you got to like high school. so I stopped pretty much when I got probably when I got to like sixth grade, seventh grade. Still sang in the choir a little bit. I was going to church, but I played football instead and played sports and made dumb decisions and lived life. And then I decided I always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. So I joke about it because I got my first guitar on my birthday, and I didn't even think about going to Nashville. Never been to Nashville, and I was just joking. I said, "Next stop, Nashville, haha." And that post pops up on my Facebook. I don't really
so
go on
funny.
Facebook, but it likes to pop up memories, and like it comes up every year, and I laugh because I was like, "Well, now I did it. I'm here," many years
Wow.
later. But
That's a great feeling.
yeah,
So who bought you that guitar?
the girl I was with at the time,
Okay.
yeah, she bought it, and I just wanted to play the guitar. I didn't want to sing. I couldn't sing that good at all. I had to
Wow.
train to sing.
So
And,
what were you doing till 27? Were you doing like something else? Oh,
in the world of engineering, like architectural engineering, so like designing buildings and stuff like that for electrical systems. And
wow.
I just kind of, I guess I had been in it at that point. If I've been in it for a number of years, and just I don't know. I was just bored. I just wanted to play the guitar and learn it. And then I decided I wanted to sing. Well, actually, it was an old friend of mine, an older fella, that asked me if I ever wanted to sing and play at the same time. And I said, I don't know, maybe. And he said, well, you should start learning now. Otherwise, you'll just become a guitar player. And you'll just learn the guitar, and you won't learn to sing and play at the same time. And you have to relearn how to play while you sing because the timing's different. I don't
Wow.
know if that's true or not because I know plenty of guitar players that also sing.
Yes.
But I was like, okay. So I think I tried to sing like Simple Man or something, and
That was your first
it
song
was
that you tried?
horrible. It was so bad, so bad. I
I
found a
can't
clip.
believe that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean bad, bad. I found a clip of it years later on my phone, and I wish I could find it today because now, with as much vocal training as I've done and as far as I've come, and some of the classes and with some of the newer folks singing, it's good motivation. So this is how I used to sound, and now I sound like I do now, and there's just been a drastic improvement. And
So how did you get better? Did you did vocal classes
yeah,
or you by practicing you got
all of it.
better?
Yeah, I went and took lessons with a guy up there in Delaware, and he taught me some things. So I was like, and learning how to use the instrument, and then I would when I finished with him, I probably a year with him, and then I stopped and just practiced myself, and then went to a classical opera coach that was recommended, and she really, Miss Margaret Blanchard, she really changed my perspective of how much more I can learn to sing.
Yes.
Yeah, and then now I still take lessons today with
Oh,
Studio Brev, it's called, and he sings all the Viking stuff on the social media stuff that went viral, and he's got a big deep voice, so like he can demonstrate for me like, hey, this is how you sing this with our kind of voice. It's
Yes.
nice.
Oh,
It's
that's
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
That's good that you're still doing vocals and yeah, that's a motivation for everybody. But not only you learn how to play the guitar, which you play really good now. Not only you learn how to
Thank you.
sing. Yes,
Thank you.
you also wrote a lot of songs.
Yeah, I've been diving into the songwriting world a lot
Right.
past few years. I mean, wrote songs shortly after starting to sing and play. I started writing a little bit, but really been focused on it a lot lately, and I'm happy, pleased with the progress. Still always something to learn, and I'm meeting a lot of cool songwriters and just getting some cool opportunities. I'm debuting at the Bluebird I finally got into there, auditioned for that thing, and
That's amazing.
yeah, that'll be fun. That's in June 15th.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
We're gonna be there.
Come on with it. Yeah, I'm actually releasing. Hopefully, if all the production gets done, I'm releasing a song because that's Father's Day. I have a little girl, and I wrote her a song called "Angel on My Shoulder" with a
Oh my goodness,
friend of
that's
mine,
so
Jody
cute.
Good and Lexi, and so we're trying to release it on Father's Day, and
That's amazing.
yeah, with the day and kind of debut it at Bluebird.
I know you wrote another song that you mentioned your daughter,
Oh, back porch.
Back Porch.
Yeah, so I wrote that
I've
about my
heard-
grandparents. Yeah,
Yeah, you wrote that for your grandparents, and you mentioned your daughter there.
yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
she's actually did a music video for that. It's on YouTube, and she is real little, and it just reminded me playing with her on the floor of the house. Kind of reminded me like of when I was younger, playing with my grandparents. I was actually very honored to have that song played at a funeral this past week, and the one of the gentlemen that was in the video passed away, and
Oh my
and
goodness.
his family asked if they could play the video at the funeral, and so it really just added a whole another element. He was older, and he was getting sick, and it happens, but it just kind of brings even more special meaning to that song.
And I can still hear the Opry playing on the radio. If I could go back in time, I know where I'd go. Rocking on a back porch, sipping on sweet tea. And Grandma made it so strong, as strong as a love for me. I can still see it now. When Daddy came around the bend, oh, I was ready to go. Now I wish I never left, rocking on a back porch.
It's cool to see music touch people's lives, and
Right.
those two songs, I think. Oh yeah, I've had people crying from "Angel on My Shoulder" already
Yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to listen to that song, and I'm sure your daughter also is looking forward. How old is she?
Oh, she's 6. We're gonna try to get her in it. She's gonna try to sing part of it.
So is she like singing and playing guitar? Like
Not
no
playing the guitar. She's
but-
playing the piano.
Okay.
She's learning, and her grandmother is was a music teacher. She's retired now, but so she gives her lessons, and she sings
sweet.
along. I do all my vocal exercises when I'm driving. So like if I started driving her to wherever, daycare or school, or just driving around doing errands, and I'll have exercises on, and she'll start doing them from the back seat. And I was like, hey, she's actually got a good ear. It's kind of cool seeing her.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Will you be proud if she will follow the music career? Will it's
If she
something
wants
that
to.
you will like to? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she wants to. It's definitely a tough career. I'm going to encourage her to build skill sets outside of the music world too, so that she can financially support herself too. But yeah, if she wants to pursue music, I want her to pursue it for the passion of it and the joy of it, and not make it
So when did you start writing music?
Probably, I mean, I guess maybe a year after I got the guitar, um, started singing, and I was like, oh, I'll try to write some songs. So I guess I don't know. I guess that's about 15 years ago, maybe.
Right.
Yeah,
And you wrote some songs, some singles like Made for Drinking or Out Loud and Countryside.
yeah,
Countryside has almost like 200,000 streams
yeah,
on Spotify.
yeah.
So you're doing really good. And that's not the only one. You have some other like with thousands of views and thousands.
Yeah, Buy Me a
And I
Memory
know
is
you're
doing
not
good.
talking about this, so I'm going to talk about this. So you're not going to be a person that is going to say, yeah, my song is streamed so much. So I'm going to say it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
It's they're doing good. They're exciting.
How is the feeling to like start playing guitar, 27 years old,
Yeah.
start playing country music? Not only that, writing songs, and then you have so many streams, so many people are listening to those songs. How do you feel? Like,
It's cool. I feel good. I'm doing it because I enjoy doing it.
I know.
And it's great to have somebody else connect with the music. So it's like almost therapeutic sometimes. And Countryside is a up-tempo party song. And sometimes you feel like partying.
Yes.
Downtown tonight. Race a coupe back home, grab the four-wheel drive, kick a dirt rock road up to a tree line. Stop and look at her and say, ready? Better hold on tight. Let me show you my countryside through these old headlights. We can take this road as far as you want to go. I'll show you how a country mile can take us all night. Feeling higher than a bull's tail up a no dirt road. I ain't gonna run or hide. We can let the fire burn wild. That's just my countryside.
I'm actually writing another one right now that I don't know if I'm going to release it or my buddy Brev's going to release it. One of us is releasing it because if he doesn't, I definitely am. And it's called Drinking Feeling. And it's another bar fun song.
Oh,
yeah. Because I've been
yes.
releasing ballad. Buy Me a Memory was a ballad that I released in December. That's my most recent
And
one.
Made for Drinking also includes.
Made for Drinking's
Yes.
an up-tempo one. That did well. That one I put that in the American Songwriter, or was it? Or the International Song Competition, the ISC, and it got finalists in the country section. So that was cool.
Yeah, that was a cool song. Do you want to tell me the story behind this or the country side?
Yeah, I mean the My Countryside. There's not a big deep story behind that one. That was just wanting to capture that feel good song, right? Up tempo, a little bit of rock influence on it, and just kind of paint the picture and put you in that, by the bonfire in the truck, bouncing around like. I think everyone's got a countryside to them, and mine can get a little wild, and that's really just kind of what I wanted to kind of to tell the story of that. Buy Me a Memory, that was influenced by a real, that's a ballad, a slower ballad, and there was a homeless fella. If you've been to Nashville, there's a lot of homeless hanging around, and normally they're begging for money or they're carrying on or dancing around with goofy signs, trying to get attention and trying to get money. Well, this guy just sat there my whole show and just watched the whole show. Was very respectful, and you could tell he was like into it. And then right before I was done, he asked if I could play Silver Wings for him, and he gave me this crumpled up dollar bill and like set it on the windowsill. And I was like, man, you keep that dollar, I'll play it for you. Don't worry. And he's like, no, take it. I was like, okay. And I played the song, and you could just tell that it took him out of whatever mental state he was in. Like it just kind of put him where, back. He was dancing. And that was just very inspirational to me. So I wanted to capture that feeling and that story. And that's what Buy Me a Memory is telling that story. That's what I love about country music. It's more about storytelling than it is necessarily club music.
Sure.
So
Yes.
there's some depth to it, and that one has a lot of depth to it.
I'm a little down on my luck. It ain't hard to tell. Mister, with that song, you could take me somewhere else. There ain't enough money in the world that could bring it back to me. And I know this ain't much, but could I please buy me a memory?
That also went really well.
That's got
also
a
like-
couple hundred, I think, or maybe just under that.
I think it's 100,000, 130,000
130, yeah,
streams. Like,
something
that's
like that,
also
yeah.
pretty good.
It's going. There's a radio station in New Zealand that I just interviewed with that apparently they love it, and they've been playing my stuff out there for the past like 4 or 5 months, and
That's amazing.
they want to start playing it in India, I guess. And I'm like, this is kind of cool, yeah. So
When you wrote your music, and then how did you decide to produce it? Did you find the producer? Did somebody help you? Because-
word of mouth, you ask when you don't know, you ask and you look up, and I've definitely had my fair share of bad producers, that just are in it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of guys that are in it just to make a dollar, and they don't really care about the product or care about the end result or the artist. And any newcomers to Nashville, be wary of that. Some will go as far as to take your money and not even give you the product, and then you can't really, or they'll do it halfway and never finish it, and it's like you can't get anything out of them, and it's not worth hiring a lawyer to try to go after them because the projects are usually so small, but it still costs a couple $1,000s. And but yeah, I found the record shop. I don't remember how I was introduced to him, but Sean Giovanni, Gio, produced a lot of those newer songs that have been released, and we just kind of connected, and he gets it, and we have a good working relationship. That's where I've done majority of my recording. The newest one I'm going to release, I did not do it Gio. I did it through another producer that my manager recommended to me, and figured try him out too, and that's going well. I think that song's going to turn out good. And that's Bill McDermott,
Yes.
recorded in a couple different studios. But
So you have a manager that is helping you, like booking the shows and.
not quite booking on the booking side, but yeah, it's kind of a loose arrangement. They're trying to get me on tour and out in festivals and traveling, and it's a newer label, so they're trying, or not label, but management group. So they're trying to kind of piece it together, and we'll see. But in the
Yes.
meantime, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. That's what I said. I said when I brought her on board, I said I don't want it to interfere with anything I have going on now, because I've already done all this myself and have built what I have by myself. So if it's additive, if it is beneficial to go do something, then sure, like I'll go do it, and you can get your percentage off of it. But I'm not going to start giving you percentages off of
Right.
stuff I already got going that you didn't help me with. So
Right.
she was willing to accept that deal, and so it works for me right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you did, as you said, you did everything by yourself. That is amazing.
Yeah.
So you found the producers, you wrote the song by yourself, all the gigs that you played, and that's really hard when you're an artist. And I'm gonna go to what you said earlier
Okay.
about the new song that you want to release.
Yeah.
And you said if my friend is not singing it, I'm singing it.
Yeah.
Are you writing music for other people?
Yeah, I'll write it. I write songs, right?
Right.
I'll record them and release them if it's on brand with what I'm trying to do as an artist. But I've been getting tied a lot into the co-write world, so not every song
Oh,
I
okay.
write is necessarily targeted for me as an artist. It's just a song we're trying to write based on someone else's idea. and if somebody, I've had a song Chaser that I wrote with a few buddies of mine that was cut by Colby Swift, which is a young Texas artist that was on like American Idol or something, and he's got some traction out there, and that one's playing on the radio out there. So, but I still perform it and play it, and I'm gonna release that one too. I talked to the songwriters, and now that he's kind of they're kind of moved on to other songs and they're not pushing it anymore. So I'm gonna probably record it and put that out there in the next year or so. 'Cause that's a fun one. That's another good up tempo song.
Yeah, that's nice. I know you have a lot of up tempo, but as you mentioned, you did had some ballads. I remember one of them was "Lonely."
Lonely as you,
Are,
yeah.
Lonely as you, and that is a very strong. Why you laugh?
That's a funny song.
Well, it's not funny at all. I actually loved it.
Good. I'm
It's
glad.
it's very powerful,
Thank you.
and I want to learn the story behind it.
Well, that's why I laugh.
I guess that's why you laugh.
That's why I laugh, because you see a lot of things from stage in Nashville, right?
Yes.
And so I see folks, you'll be singing one of their songs, and you sing a song that there's an older couple and it was their wedding song from 20 years ago, and they're just dancing together, and they want you to keep going, like sing the chorus again. They don't want to stop dancing. Or it's strangers that just met and they're hooking up, and like the guy's telling you like, oh, she's dancing, like. Keep it going, keep it going. And I was like, all right. And then just all this connection happening over music. And I was like, man, that's what the influence for the song was. I'm as lonely as you. So hold on to me, dance. And it goes well. People like it. I was going to start trying to push that one at Texas radio because it's got more of that traditional country vibe to it.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have seen a lot of stuff by playing.
Oh yeah.
The night.
Yeah, there's a lot to see in Nashville in
Can
general.
you tell me the craziest thing that happened to you, like during a show or after a show? I can imagine like
Man.
being a man country singer in this town.
That's wild. I mean,
It is.
I guess during Rona, it was crazy. So a lot of the bars had to shut down. Well, Moxie's a hotel,
Right.
so they're under different rules. So they didn't have to necessarily shut down. So we stayed on.
Oh,
And
wow.
I stayed playing, even though they had to stop paying musicians for a while because they almost went out of business like everybody else. And I got to know the owner real well of the hotel. We're friends, and I was like, man, I love playing music. Don't worry about it. I'll just play anyway, and at least we'll try to get some people in here and make some money at the bar and still have. And we were busier than we were ever been because people still would come to Nashville because their state was closed or shut down.
Wow.
And I mean, the one time I had to run part-time security, like it would get so rowdy in there sometimes, and like one of the security guards took down this guest that was on something because he was going crazy, and he wasn't a hotel guest; he was just a patron in the bar, and he was having a hard time with him, and he like looked at me, and I looked at him from stage. I said, "Are you all right?" He's like, "I don't think so, man." So I jumped off stage and helped him,
Oh,
restrain the guy while he was able to go get the police to come in, and it took like 3 or 4 of them to get him out of there. And I just remember holding the guy down, telling him to calm down and relax. And he didn't fight too much, but there was like pepper spray that got in my eyes and all this stuff from
Oh,
the
my
whole
goodness.
thing. And then like that cleaned up, and I just got back on stage and started singing. I was like, this is Roadhouse or something. Because Moxie's not normally like that. That was just a very odd time.
Yeah.
So that's
but
probably.
I'm sure every artist has a story to tell.
Oh, it's wild.
Yeah, when they're playing, downtown, or if they're playing a lot, like you've seen different things, and I guess you get inspired from different things. As you said, you got inspired from the Lonely as You, and then you had another Loud in the Holler.
Loud in the Holler, yeah.
Yes.
That's another up tempo one. That's a party song, just capturing some funny stories from back in like high school days. We'd go out. I had an old beat up car that I would take out. We would go out and get it stuck. I was living in Florida at the time, and it's just partying out there in the woods, and there's sugar sand everywhere in Florida, and like, so my car is not a truck. Everyone else had trucks. I had an old car, and I would take that thing out and I spray painted a lightning bolt down the side of it, and like just bumped into trees with it, and just that whole kind of reckless fun from that era is what I just kind of sang about in that song. It's just people getting stuck in creeks and stuff like that. I got to pull them out and like, all right, come on.
That's fun.
Yeah, maybe drinking a little bit out of a jar or something.
Yes,
experimenting.
Head on down to the holly if you're ready to go. Yeah, we stop sitting past the liquor while we slip until the sun gets low. Pretty eyes looking at me through the fire. Ask your girl to bring a friend for a ride. We'll take them up to the ridge, grab a jar, we could be there all night. A few shots get you feeling 6 feet taller. That's how we run around here. Full sand, getting loud in the holler.
So, when you're writing a song, is it coming first the music, the melody, the lyrics? How does this work for you?
It's usually an idea. For me, I'm more of a lyric forward writer. Like one of my mentors in the songwriting world is a very strong lyricist, and so it's usually some sort of concept or idea that I have, and I'll sit down and try to come up with the hook or the chorus, the pay line, whatever you want to call it, and then I try to look at different ways. Now I try to look at different ways to support that concept and that hook, and I love to find double entendres. Say it on the first verse and have it mean one thing, and then the second verse saying it the same way, and all of a sudden now it means something else because of the way you set it up. Mm-hmm. And that's what the Angel on My Shoulder song that I'm releasing for my daughter, it's like literally picking her up and putting on your shoulders, but then also the good influence that she's been on my life as an angel on my shoulder, and there's another meaning to it, and then the same meaning in the bridge. It's a little hidden in there, but it's a third meaning of seeing her over my shoulder in the rearview mirror singing along, and so I like having those kind of deeper things in my songs.
Right.
And
is that the last song you wrote? Like,
that's the one I'm currently recording. So
you're currently recording. Yeah. When was the last time you wrote a song, even if you didn't finish it?
Probably the Drinking Feeling song. I think we just finished that one.
Okay.
Like a week ago.
But you did co-writing with that.
Yeah.
So
I do a lot of co-writing now.
That's another amazing thing in Nashville that, coming from Europe or maybe any other state or town, you don't see a lot of co-writing. And it's the first time I've heard it here when I came here, because somebody asked me. It was a girl. She's actually very talented. She told me, do you want to co-write together? And I said, how are we doing this? So that's an amazing thing that people in Nashville do. They just hang out. And do you want to tell us how this works? So for people that don't know.
It really is that. It's writers that get together, they'll hang out and tell some stories in the beginning. Everyone keeps a list of ideas or songs. Like, it used to be a little book, your little black book of ideas, and now it's all on the phone usually. And pitch ideas to each other, and somebody, or maybe you have a song you started and you're like, I just don't know where to go with it. I like the idea, but I got a really cool chorus, but maybe I don't know where to go with the verses to support it. And someone else hears it and they're like, oh man, I'd really take that here. Angel on My Shoulder started that way. It's ironic because I was at Bluebird's open mic with uh, Jody was there. She's the one that helped write it, and she actually had the idea of Angels on My Shoulder, but in a whole different meaning to it.
Right.
And she was just telling me about it, and I was like, man, I'm like, I like that concept, and like spun it with like the daughter angle about Angel on my shoulder and picking her up on my, and she's like, oh, I love that. I'm like, well, let's write it sometime. So we were writing it with another co-writer, and we sat down and we didn't get the song done in just one session. There are some sessions where you sit down and you write the whole song in 45 minutes. Some take multiple sessions. I'm usually a multiple session writer. I usually have an idea, sit down, get it out, and then I'm always trying to edit it and make it the best it can be before I get in the studio and record it. I like to play them out, but yeah, it's you just meet people. These rounds that I go do, like I have a round at 7:00 today over at the Distillery, and I've met some great writers through there, and
you listen to different
it's
ideas.
just networking, yeah. And they hear you're sitting on stage with 3 other writers, and they're all singing original music, and they're listening to yours, you're listening to them, and
the stories behind it.
yeah. And then somebody says, hey, I really like what you did. Hey, I like what you did too. Yeah, we should write sometime. That's
that's exactly
there's actually
how it
an
happens.
app called that. We should write sometime, and it's like a Tinder for musicians to hook up just for writing.
Yeah, but that is exactly what music meant to be. Like musicians connect with each other and write together and create that community, and even like playing the song and have those rounds. You just share with artists like you are, and they have the same inspirations as you do, and the same issues and same, or maybe different stories.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
I have some co-writers that I am complete opposite of, but we get along, and their perspective is so much different than mine that we sit down and talk about ideas, and it's just, oh yeah, I didn't think of it that way. I know, yeah, I didn't think of it that way, and the magic is blending it to one solid, cohesive point in a song instead of kind of bouncing all over the place. But, which happens too. Sometimes you sit down and co-writes and they don't go so great.
Yes.
But you just never know. And then the next one with the same co-writer might go wonderful. So just patience and kind of letting the song, putting your personal wants aside and letting the song come out. It's kind of like how I like to describe it. Like once you get into the song starts to write itself a little bit, and it's like, yeah, it wants to go here and it wants to do this and it wants to go there, and then just kind of help it along.
Right. You wrote so many songs, right? And you have them all on internet. Is there any song that speaks most to your heart than the other? I know you mentioned the last song, but in general, like from the beginning of the time.
Buy Me Memory was a special one. It's usually my ballads that are more heartfelt songs. So either the Back Porch one is special. I wrote it for my grandparents. I didn't write that for the radio. I wrote it as like a tribute to my grandparents. And so when they passed, that kind of made that feel that much more. And now that it's been used, and it connected with the other family, and which is like, they're like family to me too. They're my Southern family, I call them. And, now that it's just, so I would say probably, Back Porch is probably the one that has the most connective, personal feeling to me.
I want to try something.
Okay. Here we go. Good thing is this video, it's not live. We can always cut it out if it doesn't
and if
go
it doesn't go well, we can cut it. He doesn't know what I'm.
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what's about to happen.
So if you can bring the guitar.
Okay.
And you can show us how you wrote one of the songs. Like you can show us like how you started writing.
Okay.
And then play that song.
Sure.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Like you can explain how you sit down and where were you, describe the place, the moment, the phase of your life where you were at.
Yeah.
Any song you want.
Yeah, I can do that. You want me to just stop and grab the guitar?
Yeah, we have to stop now.
All right.
Okay, and boom, we have the guitar.
Yeah. It's funny how that works. The magic of
Yes,
camera
magic.
work.
Dang.
So, all right, writing process. So, I guess I'll just go with the most recent one so I can remember it, which is the Drinking Feeling song.
Yes.
And so the whole idea came with my buddy Brev and Jody, the co-writer. We were at Live Oak watching around.
It's a great place.
And Brev is he's an artist too, and he's looking for songs. And he's like, man, just need some up-tempo songs, and it's kind of his brand. And they were giving me a hard time about just busting on me, not like in a mean way, about me always trying to write serious songs or ballad songs. And it's like, look, drinking's a feeling too. And I'm like, I write about that. And they're like, oh, that'd be a great concept. And I was like, I already started it, actually. I wrote the concept down probably like, I don't know, 8 years ago. And
wow.
like a long time ago. Because I was like, man, it wasn't on my phone. It wasn't anywhere else. And threw out a couple things. And then, with those kind of up-tempo songs, we were kind of just trying to figure out like a catchy guitar riff thing. And I'm a big fan of the drop D tuning. And this is similar to that. And we kind of just started getting in. And we kind of just play over that for a while, and we're sitting there, and
I love that riff.
Yeah, and we're just playing, and then my co-writer is really strong with vocal melodies, and so she just started kind of ad-libbing over it, and kind of coming up with some concepts and on the fly, and then, then we sit down and write them out, and then we start kind of creating the story behind it and concept behind it. And it's like, okay. And then once we get kind of it roughed out, and we're still not, I don't think we're done with the song yet.
Yeah.
It's performable, but there's we probably wrote a dozen different verses for it. So it's like, which ones are going to stay in, or what part of what verse is going to stay, and are we capturing the point? And this is just kind of was like a tongue-in-cheek, funny song, and I picture it being like a summer song. But I guess that's the process. And we sat down and we wrote most of this remotely, like just texting ideas back and forth to each other. Then I'd record something, send it back, and then she'd record something over it and send it back, and then we'd meet up for over a Zoom or something, and then we'd meet up in person and for like an hour before a show or something. I write a lot behind the Moxie in this construction zone inside, and that's just, I don't know, that's just how it comes. But so I guess I sing it.
Yeah, let's go.
I wonder what it's like working 9 to 5. As soon as I get home, it's overtime. My to-do list never runs out of things to do. Yes, honey, but I take out the trash. The lawn needs mowed, but we're out of gas. Gets me thinking I could use a fill up too. Well, I feel like a beer right now. I feel like burning one down. Feel like a day on a boat on a lake fishing with my friends. And I feel like throwing one back. And I feel like hearing them crack. Honey, if you want the truth about how I'm feeling, well, I feel like drinking. Verse chorus there, yeah. We got to burn the whole
Wow,
thing
I
up.
love it.
Thank you.
I feel like drinking.
Yeah.
What is your favorite drink?
Probably whiskey, rye whiskey, bourbon.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a tequila fan now too. It's summertime. I start drinking like the lighter stuff. But I'm a red wine fan too. So I don't know, those 3 things. But usually whiskey is.
Yes, Tennessee whiskey.
Not always Tennessee.
Oh my God, I love this song. I have a feeling it's gonna be a successful song.
This one, the Drinking Feeling,
it's very
fun.
catchy.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I feel like everybody can relate because they want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the lake with their friends, and we do have a lake here, and go to the boat and Everybody works 9 to 5 job, and it is an amazing song.
Yeah, it's easy. It's not too deep. It's a little clever with the references, and there's little snippets of creative crafting the song and the writing, and it advances on. Um, but yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's relatable. It's fun. It's up tempo,
It is.
and that's what a lot of people want to listen to on the radio. And so it's definitely more one of the commercial radio songs as opposed to
Yes.
like the feeling songs.
And it's amazing that I've listened to how you co-wrote it and how much time it takes to exchange ideas, and how many hours it needs to pour into.
Yeah.
And do you want to play another one and tell us also the story?
I guess I could do the one I'm releasing soon, the Angel on My Shoulder song, right?
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
So when you have this concept and it's a feeling song, not a drinking feeling song, a sentimental song.
Yes.
There's different progressions. You just kind of slow it down a little bit. And we kind of picked around on that, and I mean that's not the old.
So you found the melody first, right?
Well, you just find different melodies for the process of writing. It's like,
Right.
what's it fit like? And that just pulls from the influence of songs that you've heard and grew up listening to. And I mean, there's only so many chords on a guitar, so those storytelling country songs, I like to keep it really simple. The guitar rhythm isn't the star of the song. Whereas like the Made for Drinking, there's going to be that riff in there throughout, and the production is going to have some beers cracking, and different sound. Like there's a whole thing to that has nothing to do with the lyric. It all supports the lyric, but the production of that song is really the instrumentation, and it's really built kind of around that. What you're saying almost doesn't matter, but it's catchy and relatable. With this one, we wanted the meaning of the song to drive everything, and everything to support just the meaning and the heartfeltness of the song. So like it started as a different concept altogether outside the Bluebird, and then we kind of discussed it a little bit, and I said, well, would you be willing to write it, target it for me? I've been looking for this song. I've been wanting to write my daughter a song, and I've sat down with many different writers and many different times solo, and I just could not find something I felt was good enough to represent. And then this concept came around that we were talking about, and I was like, okay, I think this is it. And then it was and is, and it's turned out well. Baby blue eyes, light like mine, looking up at me. Trying to climb a left field fence, saying, Daddy, I can't see. So you hopped up on my back for a better point of view. And I had to put my whiskey down so I could hold on to your shoes. I can't tell if I was raising you or you were raising me. If heaven never sent you down, I'm telling who I'd be. You used to call me Superman. I can lift you up and hold you, but you'll always be the hero of my story. It was $2 shots, you call it, at the Whiskey Bend Saloon. It could have been another all-nighter at a stranger's hotel room, till I heard the band stop playing. Daddy, when you coming home? It kind of felt like you said it, so I left that night alone. Can't tell if I was raising you or you were raising me. If heaven never sent you down, I'm telling who I'd be. You used to call me Superman. I can lift you up and hold you, but you'll always be the hero of my story. Yeah, the angel on my shoulder. I had the devil ride the shotgun, even let him pick the tunes. Now I'm singing along to some Disney song, smiling my review. Can't tell if I was raising you or you were raising me. If heaven ever sent you down, no telling who I'd be. You used to call me Superman, could lift you up and hold you, but you'll always be the hero of my story. This is where she's gonna do it. And you'll always be the hero of my story. Yeah, the angel on my shoulder.
Oh my God, that is so nice song. Such a nice song. Thank you for playing that and sharing with before you release it. You're gonna release it to your YouTube channel and everything, right? And everybody who's watching, follows it to YouTube, Instagram, Spotify.
Yep.
And you also do on TikTok
I'm on
live.
TikTok a lot. Yeah, I do all my shows
You do
live
live
on TikTok.
everything.
Yeah.
So even if you're not in Nashville and you cannot go to Moxie every Friday or Sunday.
That's right. Yeah, Friday,
You know,
Sunday
I know
night.
everything. You see.
She did her homework.
Just go on TikTok and watch live. That was great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun.
That was great. Thank you for trusting me.
Yeah.
And thank you for playing those songs. And that was awesome. I'm gonna see you tonight.
All right. Yeah.
Where you're playing. I'm gonna watch the show. And is there anything else you wanna add or?
Well, you just catch me at the Moxie every Friday night, Sunday night, live stream on TikTok. If you're in town, come by, say hi.
Have a good night, and thank you for watching. Everybody subscribe. We have more episodes coming, and have a great night.